At the G7 summit where the Prime Minister was participating, Donald Trump, the US President, had to leave in between because of the crisis which is going on between Iran and Israel. But at the initiation of the US President, there was a conversation, a phone conversation of more than half an hour between both the leaders. Now, this phone conversation, ladies and gentlemen, is an important conversation on two accounts. One, the message that the Prime Minister gave to the US President, and number two, the repercussion of that on our domestic politics. Let's start with what happened in this phone call. Let me very quickly tell you, it was a 35-minute phone call, and the discussions were on Operation Sindoor, where the Prime Minister gave the President of the United States what all happened. He walked him through as far as Operation Sindoor is concerned. The Prime Minister also said India has never accepted third-party mediation on Kashmir between India and Pakistan. It's a bilateral issue. He also said will not accept such mediation in future as well. Ceasefire was brokered directly between both India and Pakistan. No mention of United States involvement in the ceasefire as far as the Prime Minister's conversation with Donald Trump is concerned. He also said terrorism no longer can be seen as proxy war. We will treat terrorism like a war every time an incident happens which is promoted, propagated from Pakistan across the border. Now, this phone call between the Prime Minister and the President of the United States becomes very, very important because remember, almost on 11 to 12 occasions since the time India and Pakistan declared that ceasefire, Donald Trump has gone on record time after time saying that he pressurized both India and Pakistan to come on the talking table and the ceasefire was called. India so far has been denying that. Now with the Prime Minister saying that directly to the US President has a very different connotation, absolutely. Now, but this has not stopped, in fact, the questions which are being raised on the foreign policy of India by the opposition, within our own borders. The politics on it continues as Jairam Ramesh, senior Congress leader, had said, and let me quote him here, that it was a triple jhatka for the Indian foreign policy. Pakistani army chief invited for Trump's lunch and Trump repeatedly taking credit for ceasefire. The Congress wants a debate in the parliament. That's why they had called for the special session. Now, it has been responded by the BJP. Amit Malviya, of IT cell chief of the BJP, has said that Congress is showing readout from January. In fact, Jairam Ramesh, according to the Congress party, had quoted, in fact, a statement of the Foreign Secretary, which Amit Malviya said that it was from January, not the current one. India does not need third-party mediation and de-escalation happened at Pakistan's request. Congress must stop maligning India's foreign policy is what the BJP's countercharge is. Let's listen in to what the Foreign Secretary had said on this issue.
9-10 मई की रात को पाकिस्तान के हमले का भारत ने बहुत सशक्त जवाब दिया। सैन्य कार्रवाई रोकने की बात सीधे भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच दोनों सेनाओं की एग्जिस्टिंग चैनल्स के माध्यम से हुई थी और पाकिस्तान के ही आग्रह पर हुई थी। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने जोर देकर कहा कि भारत ने न तो कभी मध्यस्थता स्वीकार की थी, न करता है और न ही कभी करेगा।
All right, let's also listen into some political reactions on this.
ये आसिम मुनीर जब वो जनरल थे, इनके भड़काऊ, इनके उत्तेजक और बिल्कुल ही आपत्तिजनक जो आग जलाने वाली बात है, वो उसका ताल्लुकात सीधा पहलगाम के आतंकवाद हमले से। ऑक्सीजन दिया आतंकवाद हमले को, उसी व्यक्ति को निमंत्रण देना, विशेष निमंत्रण देना, वॉशिंगटन बुलाना, व्हाइट हाउस में भोजन देना, मैं समझता हूँ हमारे कूटनीति के लिए, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री के लिए एक बहुत बहुत बड़ा झटका है।
I don't want to dignify the Congress party's ongoing, hallucinatory, I would call it hallucinatory, fake narratives that they go and put on. They're always looking for some way in which they can show India down. In the process, they not only enhance and exacerbate their own irrelevance, but show them up in front of their own party also for the kind of people that they are.
Meanwhile, the other topic of big contention, of course, has been the treatment of General Asif Munir or Field Marshal Asif Munir after, being completely shown the real face and embarrassed at the hands of India. Somehow, Asif Munir finds himself at the high table in United States, which, of course, is now being contentious and political debate in India as well. Now, there has been a red carpet for Asif Munir. What is happening there for him? In fact, Trump is hosting this lunch for Asif Munir. And why is that happening? Because Trump needs Pakistan bases for strikes on Iran. That becomes a very, very important issue as far as at this moment this whole need for Pakistan or for the Pakistani army for United States is concerned. Trump appeases Pakistan army chief because US cannot strike Iran without Pakistani help. Remember, there has been a very clear warning that the Americans have given that it's time for Iran to recalibrate or else, and for that or else, Asif Munir becomes an important factor. Trump is appeasing, in fact, the meal ticket for Pakistan's real boss. He knows that the military controls Pakistan. Pakistan, a major recipient of US weapons and jets, first in the name of their war on terror in Afghanistan, and now with respect to Iran, this also becomes very, very important. Trump makes time for the defeated Pakistani army chief because Pakistan also under Chinese control. So they do not want, it already is, but they will still try and keep Pakistan in good books because they do not want Pakistan to completely act as a state of China. Trump's afterthought indulgence of Asif Munir is because Pakistan can sabotage attacks on Iran. Any help from Pakistan to Iran will also go against American interests. Let me very quickly, at this moment, go across to Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Gopal Krishna Agarwal of the BJP, also with us at this moment. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, let me ask you first this question. I heard Mr. Hardeep Puri saying that the Congress Party is looking or using every opportunity to defame India. Does asking question to the government of the day is equal to defamation of India? Is India and government of India both the same entities?
No, I don't say like that. Ankitji, we have to understand that what Congress is doing, they are asking questions. And when the government officials or ministers or even army, when they reply, they don't accept that. They will accept what Pakistan will say, what Trump or other country diplomatic high place people will say. They will not accept. So many times they have asked questions. Government officials, even our politicians, ministers, even Prime Minister today has clearly reiterated what is India's stand. India is interested above diplomatic issues. We are autonomous. We don't accept any third-party intervention. Still, Jairam Ramesh will continue. And he went to such an extent that he cited a reading from US which was issued in January 25. And when it was pointed out to him that this is not the current statement after what Prime Minister Modi ji talked to President Trump, then he started talking ridiculously. So issue is they are not accepting the answer.
Bhavya, is that how the Congress is playing hardball? That nothing that comes from the government, the Congress party leaves it unchallenged. The fact remains that there was a mistake made by Mr. Ramesh by quoting a statement which was of January 2025 to prove a point, which has given a handle to the BJP to say that you are too desperate just to oppose the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, ignoring the facts on the ground.
So Mr. Jairam Ramesh came out and he even took his statement back and said yes, and he's apologetic about it. And why are we discussing that even? There is much.
Hold on. Gopal, hold on. She did not interrupt you. Gopal, hold on. You know that I don't work like that. She did not interrupt you. You will not interrupt her. Let her complete her point, and then I will come to you.
Yes, please. It's been 37 days that it took 37 days for Narendra Modi to break his silence. And, according to what a foreign secretary said in his call with Mr. Trump. He has said we do not need a third party, this thing, but he took 37 days to say this. All we are saying is, we have 4 demands. 1, call an all-party meeting. Explain what exactly happened in your call to all the party delegates. 2, we need a special session only to discuss Pahalgam attack, Operation Sindoor and the ceasefire. 3, we need a Pahalgam review committee on the lines of Kargil review committee to be set up, an independent review committee. So with all of these demands that we are asking, and one more thing, very important.
Can I ask you then, Bhavya? Let me ask you a supplementary question on this. No, you are saying you have put on 4 demands. It took 37. Hold on. Let me ask you a question and then respond. Bhavya, hold on. You've made your point. You are saying that there are 4 demands of the Congress party. You've also said that it took 37 days for the Prime Minister to respond. The Prime Minister is responding to the US President. There is a parliament session which is... Hold on. There is already an all-party meeting that took place. If the Prime Minister is not there, that doesn't mean that there has not been the Foreign Minister. Apart from that, the Foreign Secretary and other officials have, in fact, gone ahead and have given their presentation as far as entire Operation Sindoor is concerned. As far as the Prime Minister is concerned, the BJP has already said monsoon session is coming up. You can raise whatever questions you want. Just for the sake of opposing, are we seeing a point where whatever India does on foreign policy comes under scrutiny of the Congress party? Go ahead.
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
So when we ask for a special session, don't you think our brave soldiers deserve a special session? 1, to honor them. 2, to discuss this terror attack and one of the biggest operation under Narendra Modi's leadership. What is wrong in conducting a special session? Why not?
When was the last time a special session took place on this matter?
When special sessions
Hold on.
are conducted,
I'm asking you, ma'am, answer that question.
Special sessions happened in the past during a full-fledged war as well.
Only in 1962.
Yeah,
it didn't happen in Kargil. It didn't happen in 1971.
We are demanding it because everyone is confused in the country. Who called for a ceasefire? It took 37 days for you to come out and say that no, President Trump was not involved after he said the same thing 14 times.
But the government of India has from day one stood on this position that it was the Pakistani DGMO who called for the ceasefire.
One more thing, very important. When President Trump calls a military chief for one-on-one lunch, and Indian Prime Minister is on a call with President Trump.
I am going to come to Asim Munir. I have a plethora of questions for the BJP on that. But I was only questioning you about the special session and, of course, what the government has said. Gopal, I want to bring you in at this moment. What is wrong if the Prime Minister of this country is answerable to the people of this country through the parliament? So if the Congress is asking for a special session, what is wrong? If you can make an assertion to Donald Trump, why can't you make the same assertion to the people of your own country? I'm sure they are more important than Donald Trump.
Ankit, we have to understand that it is not the Congress questioning the Operation Sindoor or military actions or anti-terror stand that the government is taking. They are not accepting. That is the question. They are not accepting the army, what army chiefs is saying. They are not accepting what our foreign minister or foreign secretary is saying. Now even Prime Minister has said...
No, hold on, Gopal bhai. You are again taking it to a different direction. All I'm asking is, don't the people of this country, if demonetization, when it was announced, the Prime Minister came and spoke to the people of this country. And an important operation was done by India. Should the Prime Minister not come and speak to the people of his country, not from a rally, not from anywhere else, but maybe in a parliament or maybe an address to the people, put everything forward of what we did, how are we planning to move forward from there?
So that demand they can put, nobody is questioning. It is for the government to decide. But Prime Minister has many times, and PIB, everything, the Foreign Secretary, the Defense Secretary, Defense Minister...
The problem, Gopal bhai, is that every time the Congress puts that demand, you start calling them, speaking in the voice of Pakistan. You are yourself agreeing that they can put this demand.
Whenever they are asking a question, we are not calling them. Whenever they are not accepting the Indian stand, Prime Minister, they are not accepting the Foreign Minister.
Do you feel that the Prime Minister, do you feel the General Army Chief of Pakistan going and having lunch with the US President, that of course, becomes a big issue. Why did the Prime Minister in his conversation with Donald Trump not raise that issue that you are sitting and dining with a country which promotes terrorism against India?
See, Ankit, what we have to understand is what is the stand of US you cannot define. Therefore, Prime Minister has clearly said that India's interest is about diplomacy. Diplomatic issues at the global level, geopolitics and the conflict that are happening at current level are very complex. They have different connotations, they have different vested interests of different countries. We can protect what is our interest. We can protect that what our autonomy or national interest is. We are not compromising on our operations.
That is an important point. And let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. US president or anybody across the world can say whatever they want. Donald Trump is somebody, whether, everybody knows that he goes back on his words every third day. Why is the Congress so eager to believe and jump on what Donald Trump is saying instead of the people of your own country, from the foreign minister, now of course to the prime minister, to everybody else? Because US president has said something, the Congress wants to jump on it without in fact giving an iota of the same credence to the people in power in your own country.
Exactly. This is a question of credibility. When a US president comes out and tells the whole world that he's the reason there was a ceasefire between India and Pakistan, we expect his counterpart in India, that is the Indian Prime Minister, giving legitimacy and credibility to his position and come out and say this in public to his people, those who have elected him and made him sit on that chair. And not just that, of course, you can't stop US president from having lunch with who he wants. But you can always express your displeasure when you're directly one-on-one on a call with him. That takes courage, right?
No, but why should whatever the US president become so important while we are dealing with our... Then the accusation can be that the Congress party is playing in the hands of the whole narrative that India and Pakistan, Kashmir is not a bilateral issue. I mean, you are also picking up exactly where the US president has left.
As in, come on, all we are saying is Prime Minister should have come out and said that US President was not involved, to the public, to the Parliament. He should have
still they are not accepting what you can do, Ankit,
about this meeting and said no, what US President is saying is not right. He should have rebutted it.
Okay, ma'am, you've made your point. The Prime Minister has made his point to the US President as well. I will have to leave it there. I will have to leave it there. But like I said, and I question the same thing. The whole job, at least for me, is to question both sides. That's what we have done here. The fact remains the monsoon session of the Parliament is going to be very, very important. We are hoping that more than anything else, right from the top job or the top post in this country, there is clarity once and for all. At least this politicking at the back of Operation Sindoor or what US has said should stop. Because United States, ladies and gentlemen, cannot be trusted. They are looking for their own interest. Why should India expect anything from United States? Because take a look at how America has been behaving under presidentship of Donald Trump. Something one day and something else on day two. Private lunch with Field Marshal Asim Munir. He's the same man that Indian Army was fighting against, the architect of anti-India activities in Jammu and Kashmir. Apart from that, the lunch is coming weeks after India-Pakistan tensions. While you call yourself friend of India, would you sit with our enemies? And that's the reason, very simply, we should not expect much from America. It's our own battle. We have to fight it on our own. India, hailed as a Quad ally, to try and counter China. But when it comes to Pakistan, America does a U-turn every third second. United States continues to deal aid, and diplomacy with Pakistan. They are the ones, those who are in fact standing with Pakistan right at the time when the Pakistani economy is going down, because of course it's their own need. So why should we trust America on this? 1971, remember, they backed Pakistan during the Bangladesh war. The Fifth Fleet was sent in to try and intimidate India. So there has been history as far as US and the behavior that United States has shown vis-a-vis India. In 1919, sanctions on India post a nuclear test. It took a lot of time to reverse those sanctions and, in fact, get them off. Supplied F-16s in 2000 to Pakistan, even as Pakistan was harboring terrorists. I mean, Osama bin Laden was found in Pakistan. Even after that, United States doesn't learn its lesson because it feels Pakistan is important for them. Critical of Indian stance on Ukraine because India did not side and glide like other countries in favor of United States. No action on Canada anti-India elements. They are members of that Five Eye community. Why should they have not put some pressure on Canada when anti-India activities are happening there? Delayed visas, tech deals for India. Indians have been facing a lot of raw deal. Legitimate Indian migrants are facing problems in United States under Donald Trump. So overall, it's a very, very unpredictable administration under President Donald Trump. And we have to treat him on case-by-case basis, not, in fact, hoping that Donald Trump or United States is going to do something specific for India, something completely that we are hoping that they will stand with us on the issue of terrorism that emanates from Pakistan.